Hey guys, this is J Rock, and
Frank Walls right here, guys.
we reached 600 subscribers.
Yeah, thank you,
So,
guys.
as an added bonus, we brought Bigfoot, the Grim Reaper, and the Wolfman here. We just say thank you for your continued love and support. We still continue to grow. We're doing great things, and we just can't thank you enough. And we're gonna keep pushing forward.
Thank you guys for the support and the likes and all that you guys have done for us, supporting our merch and all that. Really appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Thank you to the stars over here.
Yep. Without them, we wouldn't have a show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you, J-Rock.
Yeah. Thank you, Frank. All right, guys. We'll see you in episode 6.
Welcome to Distorted Realities. Here are your hosts, J Rock and Frank Walls. Remember, discuss the unknown and discover your truths.
Welcome to Distorted Realities. My name is J Rock, and alongside me is Mr. Frank the Tank Wall.
What up, guys? I'm with the meat, the man, the legend, Mr. J-Rock.
It was great, doesn't it? How was Thanksgiving weekend?
Good with the family. You know, a lot of turkey, I think we're still eating turkey.
Still eating turkey.
It was a big turkey, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty impressive considering that
Had the alien turkey.
you had the alien turkey from the last episode.
Yeah.
Happy holiday season to you guys, and I hope that you had a splendid one with your loved ones. Distorted Realities, what are we? Well, we're a show that talks about all the mysterious, the cryptids, the aliens, the bizarre, the unknown, conspiracy theories, and the like.
Everything
And
weird.
essentially what we do is we want to entertain you. Now, we do believe in some of the stuff we don't. We challenge each other, we question each other, we take in open-ended questions from people that
Open
call
discussion,
in
yeah.
or join the chat. And at that point, once we do that, we tend to, prove or disprove of whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Right. So
We made it. We made it to 600.
we made it to 600 subscribers. We want to thank all of you guys. 600 subs. You're amazing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for your love and support and to continue to grow. None of this would be possible without them, right?
Yeah.
I think that they're amazing for showing us love and just being very supportive of just watching the show. Forget about buying the merch. They buy the merch, they buy the cups, the hats, whatever. But just being there and participating with us for an hour or two every weekend is, for me, like the ultimate, right?
Yeah.
We hope that every episode is as good as the last.
We try.
That's
We
what-
try to do
that's-
it like that. Yeah.
That's what we strive, is to make the AI videos better, the discussion pieces better.
And what did you say? Better, good.
Good, better, best,
Best, there-
never, nothing less.
There you go.
And I learned that from my son and from a gentleman who worked in the city in New York. And he
Nice.
said, always strive to be the best version of yourself every day, and just good, better, best.
Good,
Never,
better, best.
nothing less.
There you go.
All right. So yeah, that's my positive statement of the day. Good, better, best.
Good, better,
So-
best. There you
So
go.
yeah, a lot of things. We got all the comic book cover shirts are now at the Printify shop. So let me just first go to the Printify link and just where are you? Store. All right. So if you are interested in buying apparel from Distorted Realities, a hat, a shirt, a coffee, we actually sell coffee, or coffee mugs, or socks, or etc. There's tons of stuff. You can go to https://distorted-realities-shop.printify.me/products, and you'll be surprised how much better we price down the stuff and how much better the shirts look.
Oh yeah.
So we did put it in order. So next week's episode, you will see
New
us
art.
wearing the new merch.
New art
So-
and the shirts and everything.
So yeah, so I was gonna have Mr. Reaper chime in and say, but he was kind enough to show up for the 600 subs. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna bother that guy. You don't want death too close to you.
No, no, not at all. Not at all.
It's bad enough we have him in our logo, but yeah. So who's the fan of the week? Well, all 600 subs. So he made the video, and made that the first highlight of the day. We cannot be ever more thankful. It's never gonna be. How can I say? It's humbling.
Humbling.
It's very humbling that we got this far. Our our viewership is growing on TikTok and Instagram as well. So thank you, Instagrammers and TikTokers. Our Twitch subscriber has grown, not substantially, but enough to know that we can stay on that channel, on that platform, and keep pushing.
And
Videos.
don't forget our TikTok store as well.
Right. So we do have a TikTok store.
Yeah.
Just note that the merch is different from the Printify store. The TikTok store does a lot of express shipping, but the material's different. It's not as good as the stuff we're releasing at a Printify. Most importantly, why don't you cover this one?
Oh, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, guys. Remember, without you, we are nothing. So we do this for you guys. We really appreciate your support. And you stay tuned, you know, every Sunday at 5. Live.
Yes, so please like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification icon. That way you can get notifications on upcoming stories or episodes or events, and we'll gladly look forward to seeing you there or hearing from you if you want to. Which leads us to our next section. If you want to have stories to share with us, right, or you're interested in just making some comments or asking some questions, and you're shy and you just want to rather articulate through the form of email, you can send us an email at contact@thedistortedrealities.com. Contact@thedistortedrealities.com.
And you can always call to the number, even in the show. You can participate live in the show and you will get free merch. You can always give us a call to 904-803-7327. Repeat, 904-803-7327. Guys, thank you.
And now,
We're going to the
Televisa version.
de Telemundo presenta. Recuerden que nos pueden llamar al 904-803-7327 para participar en el programa y le damos mercancía gratis, una t-shirt, una gorra, lo que ustedes nos pidan. Tenemos café, tenemos dos tipos de café, tenemos el Jerry Blend y tenemos el Coco Coffee. Son muy ricos, muy buenos. Nosotros ahora mismo estamos bebiéndolo aquí en el programa. Siempre estamos tomando café cuando estamos en el programa para mantenernos así con energía, tú sabes. Y nada, nos puede conseguir si va a nuestro canal en YouTube, ahí van a estar todos los links que tenemos nosotros para la tienda de la mercancía, para el TikTok, para el...
So I have a funny for you. Links in Spanish.
Wow. No.
And I learned it.
Yeah.
Enlace.
Enlace, wow. Wow. Yo no sabía. I was going to say linkeo. Wow. What a Spanglish. Damn.
That Spanglish is great, though.
Los enlaces, va a ver todos nuestros enlaces en el canal de YouTube. Ahí va a estar el Printify, TikTok, o Instagram. ¿Cuál es el otro?
Instagram, Twitch.
Yeah, there you go. Kick, Twitch, Facebook. We got everything.
We got everything.
We're everywhere.
But right now, we're only streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Twitch, perfect.
Because those are our highest numbers. So let's talk about some updates. Mars Base Z. So those who are watching the show, Mars Base Z is a 4-part series, and we kind of gave the first episode, and we figured that the series is gonna be so good, you know, and it's been so good so far that we're gonna push those last 3 episodes for the last 3 episodes of the Story Reality Live, so that we give it a nice closeout, send off. So we're not putting Mars Base Z. And there's some more work I want to do with it now that I'm getting better at this guys stuff.
Perfect.
And audio as well, right? So, that's 1. 2, the week of Christmas, we're not gonna have a Distorted Realities episode, and that is due to one of my adventures. I'll be heading to Colombia. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah. So I'll be doing some investigative research on.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a historian there that
You're gonna
knows
check
about
for el
these.
buchirrasco?
Yeah, El Bucirasco. Yeah. So it's gonna be close by where we're gonna go. So we're probably gonna pass by the hill of the three crosses.
Wow.
Take pictures so we can share with the people. And,
Yeah, yeah.
and-
Just be careful over there.
Oh no, I'll make sure.
You should take that holy water with
The
you.
one from St. Augustine.
And yeah.
Yeah, I will. I will. So that's something to note. So in order to fix this problem, right, that we're gonna miss out on a week or two because we also have the New Year's weekend,
Mhm,
right? We're gonna do a in between session,
Special.
a special or a podcast. We haven't done
Gotcha.
an origins yet, and I think
Okay.
those were good.
Yeah.
The origins, but and we also got some really good feedback about the special that we did last week. They like that
The
format.
Thanksgiving one. Yeah.
Yeah, they like the format
with
so-
Mr. Valentine.
Yeah, he'll be joining us more frequently.
Nice.
But now that you went there,
Shout out to Mr. Valentine.
yes, Mr. Valentine, thank you so much for all you do. You're an amazing young man. And with that being said, why don't we turn over to Mr. Valentine's 5 freakishly frightening facts? Say that fast. I can't do it.
Five. Let me try. 5 freakishly frightening facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I cannot say it fast.
All right. So without further ado, let's check out Mr. Valentine
Check
and
it
see
out.
what he has to tell us today.
Let's see.
Greetings and salutations, friends. My name is Mr. Valentine, and welcome back to Mr. Valentine's 5 Freakishly Frightening Facts. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Let's get started. Fact number 1. Sleep deprivation can unalive you faster than starvation. Rest up, folks. Fact number 2. Some moths actually drink blood. The vampire moth drinks blood from mammals and can drink blood for up to 50 minutes. Fact number 3. Ancient Romans believed that drinking blood gave them power. Fact number 4. The government has a document on their website called the Zombie Preparedness Guide. They might be hiding something from us. And finally, fact number 5. There's a book entitled The Bible of Satan, which tells the story of a monk and his interactions with Satan. This book has the largest historical drawing of Satan and is as big as a human torso. Well, that's all from me, folks. Frank Walls, J-Rock, take it away. Until then, Mr. Valentine, signing out.
All right. So we're back. Thank you, Mr. Valentine, for giving us insightful information.
Thank you, Valentine.
So it's crazy, right? How moths, there's a vampire moth
Wow.
that actually drinks the blood and can stay up to 50 minutes drinking blood. Moth.
Wow.
You know, I never knew about that. And then there's the last line item was the Satanic Bible.
Oh yeah.
So it's about the size of a torso. It's
Yeah,
the biggest-
that's the one that a guy was in a
monk.
in a monk in a jail, something like that.
He was in prison for
and
something.
he asked for to a demon to give him like a
Oh, I can tell you the story.
Yeah,
of that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very interesting. So there was a monk. Let me just one
Change.
second. I gotta do my
Me-
magic here.
Meanwhile, let me shout out to Jacob Castro. Hola, what up? What up? Noelia Otero, I like that mug. What up? What up? Thank you, all of you for saying hi. Bye.
Miss Otero, you like that mug, huh? So I'll make sure that you get one.
No,
I'll
she
s-
needs to call. She needs
She
to
needs
call.
to call in, yeah.
Yeah, if you call, you can get one.
But yeah, I think, and I'm just trying to get my stream deck up and running. Tends to be a little slower than usual.
I heard it was like a monk that was in a prison, right, or something like that, and
Yeah.
he needed to write a book.
So I want to tell you the story, and I'm just gonna switch to my screen. Usually, I get my buttons out on the stream deck, but it's not live yet. But anyways, so there was a monk that I guess was in prison, and he tried to work a deal that if he can write, I guess it wasn't a Bible, but what he had learned from the Bible in a book, or if he can write every parable from the Bible in a day, then they will let him live. And basically, he made a deal with the devil, and that resulted in the book. So they call it the Satanic Bible. The book is called the Gigas Codex, right? And it's the world's biggest satanic book, and it has the largest drawing or depiction of what Satan
looks like, yeah.
right? The book is very intense. I think that it's a great read, for lack of a better word. There is a book that kind of depicts what's going on. It's stored in a museum, and it's a piece of historical reference.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, where did he get the papers?
So I don't know. I guess they gave him the papers to write it.
I think it wasn't human skin or something like that. I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't in human skin.
okay.
No. They gave him Scott tissue.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's what they gave him. But yeah, so very interesting piece. The other one that I found interesting was the oh my god, go blank for a second.
The Mothman.
Not the moth. So being sleep deprived,
yeah,
is worse than starvation.
Yeah, I heard that too. Like if you go like 3 days without sleeping or something like that, you can die.
You can.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? But you know why, right?
Because your brain, when you sleep, it repair itself. So if you don't get any sleep, the brain is just ripping apart. I think maybe, I don't know.
It's possible. It's possible. So, I think that was very interesting. But I think it's time for us to go to
Cryptid discoveries.
Oh.
So without further ado, we are going to go to Cryptid discovery.
All right, so we're back. This is where we discuss the cryptids that we are looking at and discovering. But hold on for a second, because Mr. Frank will have something to say.
I got Noelia here saying, do a Christmas giveaway. What?
You know what? I'll do a Christmas giveaway. If you call in, you will not get one mug. You will get 2 mugs and a coffee.
There you go. There you go.
You'll get a complete set, a his and her set. As a matter of fact, we'll include the exclusive Mr. Valentine mug.
There you go. And you can choose between the cocoa coffee or the Jetty blend.
Yeah. So there you have it. So cryptid discoveries, what is it? Well, me and Frank, we like cryptids and all kinds of things. So a lot of people don't understand that. Yeah. So the idea of what a cryptid is animals that exist in myths and legends, or sometimes really did exist but are considered extinct. But no one in our generation or era has ever seen them.
Like the chupacabra.
Yeah.
I always say the chupacabra was a creature that got stink, or maybe it's a visitor from another planet. You never know.
Which one, the dog or the Puerto Rican?
The Puerto Rican version. Yeah. The Mexican version, no go. That's just a dog with no skin.
So yeah. So we're gonna start with the first cryptid, right? And before we begin, this one is a deep water, and it's very interesting because this one, it leads you to the imagination, right? Where you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, imagine if you take these 2 animals and a hybrid,
like
right?
a hybrid." Yeah.
So the first one. It's called the Lusca, hybrid between a shark, and a
kraken
and a octopus. Well, so the descriptions are different in different areas, or based on what the sightings reported, right? Or in this case, some say that it has the head of a shark, the body of an octopus. The other ones will say that it has the tentacles coming out of the mouth of the shark. there's a lot of different variations. Some people even say that it looks like a fish with tentacles.
Okay.
Right. So I did the best I could in trying to create a rendition of it. But let's talk about what we know. It was sighted in the oceans near the Bahamas. And this is not, when we say the oceans, we're not talking about you going for a swim. We're talking about
Deep. Like,
inside the ocean, where there's no light penetrating.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Like at the Mariana Trench
Yeah,
area. Like
that kind of stuff. Right.
Gotcha.
It can grow from between 75 to 200 feet in length.
Wow.
Right.
That's a lot.
The last sighting was very near us. It was in August 2023. That I had to get through a different source. But yeah, this is one of those weird I call it like morph. What's the proper term? When you take something in your mind and you envision it, you make it grander than what it is,
Okay. Gotcha.
right?
Like
It's almost like saying Kraken,
cracking like
right?
imagination.
you know, like stuff of legends,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I mean, imagine that half shark.
Half shark, half
It's dangerous.
octopus.
A shark is dangerous enough with its mouth. Now
Yeah.
it has legs to hold on, so you're screwed.
And the thing is, the octopus are more really, really smart. You know what I mean? Like,
Imagine that.
imagine that. So it's
Im-
like you got a little assassin because the shark is like an assassin. You know, like a predator. And you got the octopus that are very intelligent animals. I mean,
Right.
so imagine that, right?
That's insane.
It is. It is. You know, have you ever seen the series? It's called Resident Alien.
No.
No, the guy is kind of like a man octopus style alien,
No, I never
and
seen
he find an octopus and has it as a pet, and he can communicate with the octopus.
it. That's insane.
That's funny, yeah.
You know what's so impressive about octopus? They actually they do tests with them and they put them in these mazes
Mm-hmm.
to see if they can get out, and they can get out of pretty much anything
They're really smart.
because they're invertebrates, right? So they don't have to. They don't have bones, is what that means. Body is very gelatinous and
Mhm.
fluid and can take shape and can thin and expand and retract and all this stuff. But yeah, I like this cryptid, and here's why. Because I love to swim. And every time I swim, I always have this underlying thought. What is underneath my feet?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those things that it's a fear, but you know that the likelihood of it happening is very unlikely, but still it lingers. It sits in the dark recesses of your brain.
And you know what's worst? That the octopus can camouflage.
Yeah.
So imagine that big animal also having the ability to be like camouflage. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not gonna see him. Like
So
he could be underneath your feet. You're not gonna see him.
so imagine that you know how the octopus could spew ink?
Yeah.
Imagine if it just burps and it comes out of its mouth. I just thought about that
I
random.
know if I
But-
if I see him, I'm gonna be throwing the ink.
But yeah, and for us, octopuses are very good meal to eat. So I just don't know if the mix with the shark would do us any justice. I like shark meat, but I can't say that can mix the two very well.
Right.
So, but yeah. So what else you got on
Well,
the
shout
Lufka?
out to Stone Secrets. And
Stone of Secrets,
Buckets
Buckets and
and
Half.
Half.
Hey, what's going on, man?
shout out.
So yeah,
I got the Lusca is a mythology sea monster from the Caribbean folklore that is said to live in the Blue Hole near Andros and Island in the Bahamas. It is a chimera, a combination of animal parts, and is considered one of the lesser known cryptid of the deep. Here are some characteristics of the Lusca. Size: the Lusca can grow over 250 feet long, but the smallest one around 75 feet long. Appearance: the Lusca has the upper body of a great white shark, including the head, torso, and dorsal fin, and the lower body of an octopus. Abilities: the Lusca can swim at jet ski speeds. Wow. Change color. Oh, look, we were talking about it. And blend into its environment. It can also travel through small patches of land and shallow waters. Ooh, I don't like that. Hunting. The Lusca is a massive predatory creature with a thirst for blood. It is said to hunt a prowl the Gulf and areas near Mexican shores. Wow.
so that means
So
that
that's
this,
right there, right there.
that means that this cryptid can actually be on the shoreline. It's no,
Mm.
it doesn't have to be in the deep. It's
Wow.
and it could camouflage. So we're screwed,
Whisker.
you know. So
Stay out of the water, guys. Stay out of the water.
it's like saying, "Here's Luska at you, kid."
That's a
So-
great thing to tell the kids. Like, don't go to the water. The Luzca's gonna get you.
Yeah, man, that's a pretty powerful beast. So,
Yeah.
what do you say? Believable or not?
Listen, with me, everything that is in the sea, I cannot believe it because we cannot say that we have already discovered everything. Because I think every time there's a new species on the sea, and they go like really deep, they got this fish that has lights, their own light. How can you generate that? You know?
Bioluminescence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be possible. You know, I've seen pictures of giant calamars
Yeah.
or octopus that people have fish and those big chips.
They're good
Mm-hmm.
with rice, calamari.
Calamari with rice.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
But
no,
yeah.
I understand perfectly. And the cool thing is that you just gave up on a term that is very loosely mentioned, and that's chimera,
Chimera.
right? Which is really
That was the word you were looking for.
an amalgamation of different creature parts to form something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying the
Lion
body
with
of
wings.
a lion with the head with the tail of a serpent
Mm-hmm.
and a third head of a goat. You know,
Gosh.
that kind of the stuff of mythology
Mm-hmm.
is presented in that, or a griffin,
Yeah,
right? Which is
like a dragon.
it's a lion with an eagle's face and wings,
Wings.
right? So those things are plausible in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
For example, a real thing. In Montauk, New York, they found this strange creature that resembled some kind of bipedal species with like a bird's like beak.
Yeah.
They called it the Montauk Monster. They found it
Montauk.
on the shore. Very interesting species. And species, and this leads to a greater question, right? Which is evolution. What is it? Is it just you adapting to your environment, or is there something else happening that happens to specific species?
I think we adapt to the. I think species can adapt to the environment. I
No,
would say that.
so when I say adapt, yes, I believe that's
Yeah.
true. But there might be something more where species
Mhm.
inherit new physical
New
traits,
physical. Yeah.
or some of their DNA is able to coalesce with other species to create
Mm-hmm.
a new species to retain the survivability,
It
right?
could be. Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, that's really what it boils down to: is how do you survive in a climate that's ever changing
Mm-hmm.
and every now and then faces a cataclysmic event, right? So you prepare for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna say yes
Yeah. Yeah.
to the Lusca.
The loose gets real that and scary.
I don't know if it's gonna look the way I depicted it, but if it does, then I'm spot on.
I think you hit the nail there because that's how the descriptions are.
So I think it's time to go to the video.
Let's watch it, guys.
All right. So without further ado, the Lusca.
The Lusca. What lurks in the depths of the ocean near the Bahamas? The cryptid known as the Lusca is described as a hybrid between the shark and the octopus. It can grow between 75 and 200 feet in length. This abomination has been searched by many, but to no avail. Reports indicate that this cryptid has been seen attacking underwater wildlife of equal size. This creature's description varies based on the sightings, and even expert divers are reluctant to explore the specific location where this cryptid has been sighted. The last reported sighted of the elusive Lusca was in August 2023.
And that was the Lusca, ladies and gentlemen. So the number is 9803737 if you want to call in, share your story, share your thoughts on the show, and a free marriage. So yeah. Moving on to the next. It's going to be Mr. Sam Harris, aka
The Pig Man.
I had to do that. But yeah, it's the Pig Man. So this is coming from Northfield, Vermont. Right. Basically there's a story behind this. Story is uh Sam Harris was a young child, borderline teenager, got lost, shows up years later as an adult with what resembles a pig's face or mask, and is a cannibal.
You know that the Saw movie?
Yeah.
They used to use like a pig mask.
Yeah, you
That
see him
was
running around.
scary. That was scary. That was really scary.
So what's the big deal about this? Well, one, it's a cannibal. Two, it's another one of those biomorphic traits, right? You don't know if it's a person with a mask, but some of the reports say that it could potentially be a Bigfoot like species.
It could be like a considered a chimera too.
It's possible.
Half man, half pig.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you eat enough pernil, you right? Like it just happens. But yeah, so this particular species of cryptid is very discussed in Vermont, especially in the Northfield, Vermont region. And yeah, it's not elusive at all from what I hear.
Sam Harris. What I got on Mr. Sam Harris. I wonder why he has like a regular name, right? Like
Because it was a child that got lost and
okay.
came back.
As a pig man, so it could be maybe that he would. Wow, that's weird. Maybe he was cursed or something. or-
Maybe.
Wow. So it says Sam Harris, also known as the Pigman of Northfield and Vermont Pigman. In the legend of a boy, is a legend of the boy who went missing at the age of 17 in the hills of Northfield, Vermont, in 1951. Wow. Sam Harris is often described as being covered in white hair and wears the face of a pig. It is known if the pigman is Sam Harris or the beast that ate Sam Harris. Oh, okay. So we don't know if it's him or it's a beast that ate him. Oh. So the monster could actually be some sort of cannibalistic Bigfoot. Okay, it says the urban legend says that the night before Halloween, October 30, 1951, Sam set out with eggs in hand for what he called it Ticket Night, a night of mischief. The next morning, when his parents awoke and found him missing, this set off a huge search that lasted weeks, involved hundreds of locals over hundreds of square miles. Although he was never found, it is said that there have been sightings of Sam, who some say became possessed by the devil himself. If that fateful night, Sam Harris is known to slaughter pigs in their entrails, hollow out the pig's head, and wear it over himself, all while terrorizing the New England town's locals. Sam supposedly still hunts the hills surrounding Devil Wash Bowl rumors, as it lies the pig that with the pigs, and is also known for bestiality, spawning half man, half pig offspring, also that biological impulse. Wow, so it's creating
Interesting. So
hybrids.
that's one of those other topics that it's distasteful, so I don't like talking about it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, this could be a product of bestiality. There is videos of
Wow.
cows being born
With defect.
with
Yeah.
defects that resemble human defects,
Wow.
right? So yeah, I think this reminds me more of like Texas Chainsaw
Yeah,
Massacre,
something like that.
Leatherface type thing.
It says that years later, some high school kids were out drinking behind the school one night during a dance when this thing came walking out of the woods on two human legs. It was naked, covered in white hair, and was wearing a hollowed out pig head like some grotesque mask. Naturally, the kid tore out of there and went and told people. Word spread, and some farmer admitted he's seen a figure matching a description digging throughout his garbage one night. Some pigs had also gone missing recently. More sightings were made of the pigman, but many times the claims were just it's wanting to get attention. Gotcha.
So,
Wow.
do you think that something like that would be based on people wanting to get attention?
I don't know. Doesn't sound like right. So
Yeah, like it's
sounds more like somebody that has problems than somebody that want attention. You know what I mean? Like
I agree. I
could
agree.
could be maybe that this kid end up getting lost, and he grew up lost in the woods. You know what I mean? Like no with nothing. You know, like and maybe he end up acting like that. You know what I mean? Maybe he grew up with pigs. You know?
Yeah. Maybe he had the swine flu.
And evolved from there.
So yeah. So yeah, I think that this is one of those weird cases where I don't know how to treat it, right? I want to believe in things like this because it piques my interest, but how much of a hybrid like that is possible?
Well, I heard that scientifically, I heard that pigs are really, really related. Their DNA of pigs are really related to humans. Like there's something like there was this doctor trying to create like ears and human parts, and they will use like pig's DNA and stuff like that. Even when people get burned and
Like
stuff,
skin grafting.
they use the skin of pigs and put it on people
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So I guess we're more related than pigs than what we think.
All
you
right,
know
so
what I
we're
mean?
gonna flip the imaginary coin. You go first. Real or not real?
I saw somewhere. I saw a video of like a man half pig half human, like laboratories were creating stuff like that. So I think it could be possible.
Okay.
I'm not saying real, but it could be possible.
I don't usually go with this, but I'm gonna say yes based on the fact that you believe in it.
Thank you.
All right. I think your word is good enough
Yeah.
for me. So yeah. So with that, yeah,
I think it will be more like a laboratory thing. You know what I mean?
like a lab experiment gone
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Island of Dr. Moreau
There you
type
go.
stuff.
Style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could dig that.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
like that too because the Montauk monster
Yeah.
was supposedly a lab experiment
There you
that
go.
escaped.
You know, there's a really big lab in New York. It's close to the New York. It's in an island. a little
That's
bit.
Montauk.
That's Montauk,
That's
right?
Montauk,
okay.
yeah.
There you go.
So that's kind of like the basis for Stranger Things.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's that whole experimental vibe. But
I heard that people have seen in offshore a lot of like weird animals coming from that Montauk laboratory, like chimera styles, like have this, have that, like weird stuff on offshore,
wow.
in the coast of New York. You know, close to that Montauk lab. It's in an island or something like that.
Yeah, it's Montauk. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it for Sam Harris. It's just weird that you know they call him the pig man, but it's actually a human name, Sam Harris.
Sam Harris. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should play the video.
Yeah, let's
So
watch
why don't you sign up and say Sam Harris?
Let's watch Sam Harris, the pig man. Ha ha ha. Wee, wee.
Sam Harris, the Pig Man. A boy who went missing in the hills of Northfield, Vermont in 1951 has returned a changed grown-up. A man, a pig, and a butcher. Sam Harris, also known as the Pigman of Northfield, has been described as an adult male figure with white hair on its body and a face or a mask of a pig. Rumor has it that Sam has resorted to cannibalism and may have become a monster. Reports have been filed of the pigman being sighted while others claim it was chased by the pigman. Many believe that this could potentially be another Bigfoot-like species that has been roaming the wooded areas. For those who seek adventures in Vermont, stay clear of the Northfield woods so that you can avoid an encounter with Sam the Pigman.
And this concludes our cryptid discovery segment. I thought both cryptids make a great and interesting case. They were very different from what we would typically put. But notice how we have like a lot of aquatic octopus type things happening, right?
Is it's in December, the aquatic month? No, no, no. When they do
No,
the,
I
the
don't
Shark
know.
Week? When they do the Shark Week?
Shark Week? I don't remember, but I used to love watching that in
Yeah.
Discovery Channel. It was really good.
There's
That's-
so many species of shark. It's crazy.
yeah. So my thing is, damn, that reminds me of the good old days.
You know, you can build a house with sharks.
You can?
Yeah, you have the hammer shark.
Oh,
You have there's another shark that looks like a
the sawtooth,
like a saw.
the sawtooth shark.
Yeah, so
Wow, that's a very
if you think about it,
that's very interesting.
maybe they were the ones that built a SpongeBob house.
or Atlantis.
Yeah, they never know.
There you go. So aliens.
Noelia says no more water for me. No more water.
Let's go for a swim. Yeah, I think that the alien situation has kind of calmed down a bit, right?
Hmm.
You know, I think people are starting to smell around what's going on. I think they figured out that it's a big smoke screen.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't want to think so. I want to believe something else. I want to believe that they're gonna show up and live long and prosper and ET phone home. But
No.
I don't know if that's possible.
I think they're trying to send a message.
What's the message?
I don't know. We had to decode it.
We're coming. We're coming to your house. We're gonna invade your world. We're gonna make you our slave.
Oh, sweat.
Just
Let-
think about it. If you are a superior race, superior species,
You don't have a need to make friends with us.
exactly. You just come here and take whatever you need, and that's it. If you're not gonna give me it,
I'll dissolve you with my blaster.
yeah.
that's as simple as it's gonna get.
My plasma ray gun, whatever.
What is it?
Give me your money. So I can go to Costco.
But yeah, let's go to our next segment.
Is the
Search.
oh, do you have it?
Oh, hold on one second. There we go. And I think you should be able to do it. Wait. Oops. Where are you? How did I do this last time? Man.
Don't worry. I can change my voice.
Go ahead. Go for it.
In search of aliens.
All right. So, In Search of Aliens. So, why don't you give the explanation about what In Search of Aliens is?
Before I say that, Noelia, just correct me on the Shark Week thing. It's on July, guys. It's on July, the Shark Week.
How does a person who doesn't like water know that?
Right? That's
Google.
crazy. That's crazy. Okay. So the aliens, we grabbed this information from an ancient book. Well, it's not that ancient, but it's an old book. Let's call it like that. This book was found World War One, World War Two era, right?
Yeah.
And it was it was the Nazis that happened, and then
Yeah.
it was passed down to the Russians,
Yep.
right? And my friend here, J Rock, I don't know where he found the book, but he got some connections, in the deep web, and that's what we're referring to. So, in this book, explain that there's two big races, two main races of aliens that are one are the good ones and one are the bad ones. So the good ones are
Council.
the Council of Five. The number doesn't mean anything because it could be more than five, right?
Right.
And the bad race, the bad guys, is the Mitra race, and there are a bunch of them too. So the Mitra race want to conquer, enslave us, use us for experiments,
And feed off of us.
feed off of any bad thing. Imagine that's what they want. and the Council of Five are the ones that try to protect our species, preserve it, and try to give us what you might call it more technology for us to advance and move forward to the stars. Wow, that sounds epic. And yeah, and that's what we're discussing here. These races of aliens, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. And this is J Rock favorite segment, and I support him on everything. I just want to say that. So whatever
Thank
he
you.
say goes.
Thank you.
know.
You're a gentleman and a
Yeah.
scholar.
If he believe in aliens, I believe in aliens too.
We keep forgetting about the aluminum foil.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do it.
We're
Just
gonna
give it up
have
the
to do
gimmick.
it.
All right. So the first alien we're gonna talk about is called Strom.
Strong.
Sticking with the octopus theory.
And another one.
So what do we know about it? It's from the constellation Ursa Minor. They need vegetation to survive, which is their reason for visiting Earth. Right? They're 2 meter tall invertebrates. Last sighted in Oregon in 1976. Now, there's not much to go on. I know they've colonized and stuff. So why don't you give us some more details, Frank?
So wait a second. You said they need vegetables? No.
Yeah,
So
they're vegan.
they look like an octopus, but they're vegan.
They're vegan.
Oh, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, but
they're
they're
not gonna
vegan.
eat me.
No, they're not. They're not. They look creepy.
Yeah. Wow. Like if they come to me, take a carrot, take a carrot.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you gotta do.
So I got here a storm. They come from constellation Ursa Minor. Storms are invertebrate and
Polentrate.
colentrates. Their average height is 2 meters 6.5. Wow,
They're 6.5 feet tall.
that's tall. Yeah.
Taller than me.
Oh.
Bad.
Vegetation is of great importance to their culture and the main reason of their visit to Earth. They have been in Earth at least 200 times. They act with extreme caution and are rarely seen by humans. First visited Earth at the end of the last big ice
They're
age.
smart.
They have 20 colonies in the Via Lactea galaxy. Their shape have the shape of an octagon. Do they maybe they're like MMA?
Probably.
Last sighted on October 1976 in Oregon, USA. Let me tell you, I've been to Oregon. Is I believe they could be there.
So
Too much weird things in Oregon.
it's funny because we did speak about the Octoman.
Yeah,
Could this be the missing link?
could be
Because
maybe
this-
the Octoman it fell from the ship from the octagon. They kick him
It
out.
fell in Ohio instead of Oregon. It went to the wrong O state.
There you go.
So that's a possibility. But there's a lot of resemblance and a lot of commonalities. I really don't know what to make of it because it doesn't tell me if it's a matra or a council species. But like we already know that there are species that don't have
Alliances.
hey Barbosa.
Oh, Mirja Barbosa.
Hey,
Hey,
how are ya?
hi. Thank you
Uh,
for watching.
Yes, thank you so much. So in this case, for me, this species is I don't know if I could say alien.
What do you mean?
I don't think so. If it's a cryptid, I'm at a toss up because we first presented it as a cryptid, and now it's being spoken about almost as if it's alien like, right?
Okay.
That throws a wrench into it,
Mm-hmm.
and we have more than 2 cryptids that are octopus like in nature.
Do you think they could be the ones that are talking about that come out of from the sea? Like, you know what I mean?
So we already know that the great unknown is not in space. We've known more about space than we do of what we have on.
Yep.
Right. So you
That's
have
correct.
the Marianas Trench that we thought was the deepest part, and now it's no longer the deepest place in Earth. It's actually something deeper.
We
We've
have we have a
actually-
trench by Puerto Rico too that is really really deep too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the name, but
They have like yokos and stuff. Yeah.
they sell empanadas and
Oh.
pasteles.
Oh, that'd be good. But to me, this is really throwing me off because the problem that I have is the deep. There's still a lot of unknown. There are rumors of mermaids and sirens and things that, and we see videos of this stuff, right? So we don't know if it's real or not.
Yeah.
I want to believe it's an alien,
Mm-hmm.
but what if it's not? What if it's alien to us because we haven't explored that deep? I'll give you an example. There is a guy who discovered that there's water even beneath
Beneath the water. Yeah, I saw
and that
that.
water was more dense, so things could not penetrate.
It was like a river on the beneath
Right.
the water. Like, yeah, that was
That
weird.
that guy, by the way, the guy who first presented that was
Mm-hmm.
would presented it in National Geographic. He died mysteriously.
Every time something like
Yeah.
this, every time somebody do a discovery like this, I don't know why they end up being either disappear, died in weird circumstances, or they take their own lives supposedly. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's
Like,
it's very interesting.
it is. It is.
And you know what? I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna say, I buy this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a species of aliens that have a settlement underwater, and they,
That could be because
because now we got the USO stuff happening.
Yeah, the
right?
USO, yeah.
So I don't know.
and we got the data here that says that they are from constellation Ursa Minor. So right there, they're not from here, but it's like you said, maybe they have a little base, like a port that they can
Right.
put fuel on their spaceships, eat some broccoli while they're here on Earth. Oh, have you tried the broccoli from Earth? I heard it's the best. Maybe they go
Gourmet.
good man, yeah, from Gordon Ramsay, man. You never know. Broccoli and cheese.
Yeah. I think so. I'm gonna say I'll wing it. I'm not 100%, but it makes sense if I treat it as a species that came here and we identified it as a cryptid, but we
Yeah.
don't know the origin story.
That's
So I'm gonna leave it at that. Without further ado, we're gonna continue and present to you Strom AI video.
there you go. Let's see the video of Rom.
The Strum. The Strum come from the constellation Ursa Minor. Strums are invertebrates and coelentrates. Their average height is 2 meters, which is the equivalent of 6.5 feet tall. Vegetation is of great importance to their culture and their main reason for visiting Earth. They have been on Earth at least 200 times. They act with extreme caution and are rarely seen by humans. They first visited Earth at the end of the last ice age. They have 20 colonies in the Via Lactae galaxy. Their ships have a shape of an octagon. Their last sighting was in October 1976 in Oregon, USA.
And that was Strom, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're gonna move on to our next species. The sexy, ever seductive
Wow.
Kalinia.
Linear.
Yeah, this was a good read. I had to dig deeper to find this out.
Oh.
So Kalinia is from the constellation Aquila, star Tarazed, visited Earth for the purpose of mining minerals.
Wow.
Last sighted in Iceland near a volcano in 2003. Now, Kalinia is a seductress. They actually do hybridize their
There's
bloodline.
species.
Yeah, and they do so with humans,
Wow.
and that's why they're tall, because they go to Iceland, and Icelandic folk are very tall, and yeah, they're there.
That mean they can withstand the cold temperature.
Yeah, they can, and they can do so with minimal clothing.
That's these aliens are crazy. So this is what I have on the Kalinia.
Kalinia.
Kalinia. That is a nice name.
It
you know?
is. It is.
They come from constellation Aquila, star Tarazed, right?
Tarazed.
Tarazed. There you go. They have colonized 3 planets and have a lifespan of 150 years. Wow. And they are often sighted in northern Africa and the Sahara region. First visited Earth around 300 BC. They do not conduct abductions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
They don't do abductions; they do seductions.
Yeah, there you go. Main incidents about earth minerals last sighted in 2003 near a volcano in Iceland. So I don't get it. It's like they are often sighted in northern Africa. That's a hot area, right? And in the Sahara region, but they like minerals from
Well, I mean, they were in Iceland, but they were by where?
a volcano. Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh my,
Yeah, so
you're smart. That's why you're here. You know what I mean?
that's why they pay me the big bucks.
There you go. The man is a dictionary, a computer, anything. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think that this species, the search for minerals and the hybridization of their species leads to more questions than answers.
Well, what do you think they will use the minerals for?
Well, every ecology or bioorganism has a means to sustain.
Mm-hmm,
Some feed and gain energy through sun,
mm-hmm.
right? Photosynthesis.
Like the plants,
We feed on food for nutrients,
proteins.
right? Proteins and enzymes and all that
yeah.
jazz. And
Some
then you
people do
have-
carbohydrates, a lot of carbohydrates.
Yeah. So, and then you have species that don't need any of it, right? There's some, there's species that might use minerals, or sand, or salt.
Gotcha.
So this could be one of those species that's how they're sustaining.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna use it for jewelry,
Right.
but
Maybe. I don't know.
but yeah, this was a great creation for me. It was fun. I think I like Strom more, but I like the fact that with Kalinia, there's this human piece to it where like they're not afraid to mingle with humans.
Oh.
Right. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's like I'm trying to find the right word. I don't know if this species has any real good intention rather than they're just utilizing our resources.
It seems to be like they're kind of bullies. I mean,
They
Like-
come in all shapes and sizes.
they come here, take your minerals, and meanwhile they
They'll
seduce you.
take your minerals and your man.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
So that's a dangerous combination right there.
Be careful with Kylene.
Kalinia.
Kylene.
Kind of look like Beyonce there, right?
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
Oh, single ladies.
there you go. So with that being said, I think that this species is a very interesting one. It doesn't tell us about its allegiance to either Matra or the council as well. I think the
Mhm.
next few do. But like I said, no harm, no foul. If you're not against us, then I'm cool with it either way. I'm curious to know the motive. Because most alien species, based on what we've discovered, they're not interested in mating with an inferior species.
Yeah, you're right.
You know
You're
what I'm
right.
saying? We're according to the
Well, let's the want to create like hybrids for,
Yeah,
for
but-
a reason, like the Anunnaki did.
So-
you know what I mean?
so-
Okay.
there could only be one or two reasons. One, their species they're not procreating enough,
They're having programs.
so they need to preserve their lineage. Or two, they're getting planned obsolescence, right? We're becoming obsolete, so they need to create the new species
yeah,
of human, which is a hybrid.
hybrid.
So I look at it from that point of view. I like Kalinia. I think she's interesting. I don't think it's the center of all
I
things.
like the name. Kylene,
But I would like to meet her in person.
right? Be careful with Kylene.
But yeah.
You can steal your minerals.
or your soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, let's watch the Kalinia video and let's do it.
Let's watch it.
The Kalinia. They come from the constellation Aquila, from the star Tarazed. They have colonized 3 planets and have a lifespan of 150 years. They are often sighted in northern Africa and the Sahara region. They first visited Earth around 300 BC. They do not conduct abduction. Their main interest and purpose is Earth's minerals and how to mine them. They are very seductive species and do intermix with humans. They were last sighted in 2003 near a volcano in Iceland.
So that concludes the alien segment.
Shout out to Kalinia.
Yeah,
I got a. What is it? What is it?
it's the God. Kalinia.
Shout out to Corali Sotero. She said, it's crazy that you're showing a lot of aquatic creatures and alien, considering that recently there have been so many sightings of unidentified submerged object called USO. And also have Noelia saying, I believe in aliens too. Wow.
I believe in them as well.
You girls are right.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I'm curious to know what people believe in and don't believe in. Not to make a case and say you're wrong or right, but it's always interesting. See how people perceive the world. I think there should be a study of that. Is there? The study of human perception.
Yep.
Did I just make that up?
No, you just said it. You're right. Yeah.
If I made that up, that'd be great.
The human perception, right? How people.
The Human Perception Project.
Ooh, we
Sounds
can start our own project. We can start.
Just meet different people. What do you believe in?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
We're not passing by us. We just want to know.
You'd be surprised if people still believing on the Santa Claus and elf. And
I believe in Santa.
you still believe in Santa?
Always.
Okay. Okay.
But where you look away.
No.
You see, you look at it from the wrong point of view. You look
Wow.
at Santa as a fat guy with a suit. I look at Santa as the spirit entity, person who creates the miracle, the
Gotcha.
divine miracle.
Well, in that
Here,
case,
I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure everyone in their lifetime goes through this, so I'm going to prove it to you. You was a child.
Yeah.
There was this one thing you wanted so bad. There was no way in hell you was going to get it because it was impossible. And it was Christmas time. And out of nowhere, it shows up.
Yep.
We call them Christmas miracles. Right? Yeah, there wasn't a guy with a red suit that shows up in a Coca-Cola bottle every 2 days, you know,
With the polar bears.
every year and stuff, right? It's really the energy manifestation of what you perceive.
You're right.
And by the way, this goes a lot deeper into what they call brain and heart coherence,
Energy manifestation.
right? Whereas when your heart and your brain can perceive something as it already happened and it hasn't happened yet, the feeling of knowing that if you had that toy, right, and there was no way you was gonna get it, but then your uncle shows up and goes, "Look, I got you this," and you're like, "No way." Right? There's no way. And that's how it works.
A G.I. Joe or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
For me, it was the Silverhawks.
Silverhawks?
Yeah, I had the whole
Nice.
collection of Silverhawks when I was a kid.
Nice.
My mom made a miracle happen, and that was it. Silverhawks was it.
If you would have kept them, they would have been worth a lot.
If we would have kept it, Distorted Realities would be in another studio right now. So yeah. So you gotta believe, folks. Believe in the spirit of Christmas, and if you want to believe in Santa too, why not? We believe in cryptids, right?
You're
There's
right.
nothing wrong with that. Even little elves, we call them duendes, right?
Yeah.
There you go. We got gnomes. We got garden gnomes.
I've seen a lot of garden
You know what
gnomes.
I'm saying?
You don't have one in my house. I have one.
Have a couple.
You have a lot.
So yeah, I think it's okay. But this is a great segue because now we're going into the supernatural, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Talking
and-
about that.
And it takes us into the spiritual mindset of there is a war happening, spiritual warfare taking place.
Spiritual warfare.
You love
That's
that.
the
You-
word. That's the
You-
word
you
right
love
there.
that, right?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
where the divine and
Good
the
and evil.
malevolent are facing each other every day, right? And I want to go into this special thought.
Before you
know?
go there, I got Noelia Otero. I like Kylene more, and I got Noelia Otero again. I think they come to learn more of us. And I got Noelia Otero again. Kylene got a BBL.
Yeah, she did, right? So so I want to go into something more serious. When you're favored by God, you're also favored by the Mike Tyson said that. And at first it didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But why would the devil want somebody who's worthless? He wants what God wants.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what spiritual warfare is.
He's a jealousy. He's jealous.
He's a jealous God, or a jealous lowercase God, and big God is like, hey, I'm divine, I'm all powerful, all knowing.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent.
It's like in the story of the Bible with Job. That it was a guy that had a lot of money and power, and he has a lot of land, and he was a rich man. Period. And the devil talks to God, and he's like, he cannot ask permission to God. Like, see your servant Job, like he has everything. That's why he adores you. Take his stuff from him, and you'll see that he don't like you. He don't follow you. And the devil and God made like a deal,
Right.
and God tell the devil, you can do whatever you want to him, but don't touch his soul, or don't touch him. You know, what I mean? And he take his wife. No, he take his sons. He take all his land. He end up having leprosy, all very sick. You know, even his wife told him just curse your God and die. His wife told him that. You know what I mean? And he never did. He never did. He was faithful to God, and at the end, God gave him everything that he had. It like triple, twice. He had a new family, everything back. Yeah,
Did he get his beauty back?
everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that it makes for great. It's a great story, but it goes into the spiritual stuff that I'm talking about, and you're absolutely right. Paranormal, as we perceive it, is stuff that is not normal. Is
Paranormal is out of normal, not normal, or
I don't know.
abnormal.
Exactly.
There you go.
But we say that jokingly, but in truth, the paranormal is really about spiritual warfare. There is a part of you that does have yin and yang, good and bad,
Oh yeah.
and you are an energy source. You attract certain energies, and those energies come in the form of spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So let's jump into the paranormal, look at some videos, review them, get a little freaked out, and give us our opinions. Right? So without further ado, normal reviews.
So guys, enjoy.
All right, folks. So we are in the paranormal review section, and we're going to watch video number 1. Before I begin, I will name the person's video from the TikTok site that we got it from, or channel, and that way you can view it at your leisure.
As a human, you don't have the power or the ability to go up against a fallen angel on your own.
The most terrifying thing that could happen to you is becoming possessed. When without your consent, a demon enters your body. And they have the power to do many things. They can make your skin boil. They can twist your body. They will stop you from breathing.
I can't breathe.
And they will do anything that they can to hurt you and your family. That is their pleasure. And as a human, you are powerless against a fallen angel. Possessions are often associated with murder. When someone all of their family members and then themselves. It happens in so many of the cases that I see. If there is a demon in your life, fluids may leak from your walls. If you touch these fluids, they will damage you. Your house may smell like rotting flesh, and an invisible entity will be causing mayhem. This is exorcist Vince Lambert, and I want you to listen to what he has to say, because he performed an exorcism on a demon claiming to be Leviathan, the Grand Admiral of Hell.
There's one voice that continues to remain.
I don't have to tell you anything.
I knew that I made a mistake. Father Carmine had warned me, if you ever do an exorcism and you start thinking to yourself, wow, look at what you're doing, look at the powers that you have over the demons, you're in trouble. As a human, you don't have the power or the ability to go up against a fallen angel on your own. It's the power of God working through you.
The most disturbing exorcism ever recorded is Annalise Mitchell's, and I would like to play you a snippet of that. She starved herself and eventually died. Her body was bruised, beaten, and destroyed. And the suffering that she went through is absolutely unimaginable. Humans are very torn on demonic possession. Is this a case of psychosis, or truly something evil at play? That's up to you to decide.
Tell me your name. Tell me your name.
All right, so that video was from Mr. Chef Boy, so you can check out his TikTok page. He kind of gives a big explanation.
Let me
Which
tell
is
you,
the-
that boy was not cooking.
He
He was not cooking at all.
It was a little too long, but he was just trying to just get a lot of stuff in there that was important with regards to being possessed and
Yeah.
exorcisms, and it was very interesting. But yeah, at Mr. Chef Boy. Go on to the next video.
Hey guys, we're going to look at another creepy paranormal video today. This one has been sent to me for a long time, but I'm just now getting to it. The original video calls it a witch, but to me it does not really look like a witch. I've got it here a couple times, and then it's going to zoom in and slow down. It kind of gets filtered so you can see it better. But yeah, I have an idea of what this is, but it does not look like a witch to me. It looks like something much worse that I'm about to get into. I'm going to be going through more of these kinds of videos soon. I'm catching up on them. We're going to go again into the Oldry Family Bestiary, my ancestors' album of the different creatures held in St. George's Keep. If you've been following, you might know what I think it is. It is the physical summoned demon, shown here in its cell, held by binding sigils that kept it in place without chains. Now, this is a monstrous entity of nefarious chaos that only causes damage and destruction and death. These are primarily spiritual entities, but they can be summoned to the physical realm. It's a very ancient practice, goes back thousands of years by different occultists, sorcerers, or warlocks, and I believe that that is exactly what happened here.
So that video was from Alex Calvo is Haunted, at Alex Calvo is Haunted. And he's talking about a mysterious creature spotted nearby a cave. Apparently he has a book, and that book contains a description of the entity that's in there. I believe everything up to the point where he presented the book. I've never seen that book before. It looks AI generated. Or it could be real, but for me it didn't look that real.
What was the name of the book?
I don't remember. It starts with an R though, but it looks interesting. I mean, if the book exists, I would buy it. Just out of peak of curiosity. But apparently, it has a list of all the demons and monsters and evil spiritual entities that exist. Believable, perhaps. Is the book real? I don't think so.
That was a weird animal in that cave.
Yeah,
That was.
the animal and stuff. I like that. I was like, oh, whoa, that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to the next.
So curly.
was I ordered DoorDash because my sister and the kids are gone for tonight. Like, I'm here by myself. The kids had football practice, so they had to go do their own thing. So I ordered DoorDash, and I heard it knock. Oh my God, she's still fucking standing there.
So that video was from at Dustin Lee Frazier. Apparently, he's experiencing some paranormal things. For when he was looking at his window, he was ordering a dash menu meal, and he was supposed to get a delivery. That resulted in him being what looks like an old dead lady or spirit.
Yeah, that was
And,
scary.
but that's what we call nightmare fuel. You know, you're just looking out the window, and you see something just boom, just standing there staring at you.
No, that's the worst feeling ever.
But you know what's more scary than that?
You know, you know what happens to me when the Jehovah Witness are not gonna hear it. I'm sorry. I'm like, don't make any noise around the door.
That's wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So here's something a lot more scarier than that.
So this woman lives by herself, and in this video she was recording herself feeding her cats. When she was able to capture something terrifying, the spirit of this little boy comes out right behind her. Notice how bizarre his eyes look, and it almost seems like the only thing on his face are his eyes.
Okay, if this is real, this is probably the creepiest thing.
That's
If
scary.
you're a single person living alone and you're taking care of your cat and a child shows up out of nowhere and you don't have any kids, that is crazy.
Weird, and scary.
So yeah, I found it interesting. I was at a toss up because it looked like the kid probably lives there, right? But it didn't. It seems like she was not. She was ignoring him, or her, whatever it was. But it's possible that it could have been a spirit.
But it's not even the cat. You know, the cat are very how you call that? They can hear everything. The cat don't even move. He was just like nothing.
So it was interesting, all in all. Let's go into the next video.
This guy woke up in the middle of the night to a man staring at him from his doorway. He was frozen with fear, and all he could do was film. It's hard to make out any of the features of the man in the hat, but when I increase the exposure, you can kinda see a pale, lifeless face looking right at him.
That was creepy.
That is really scary.
You know, what does that remind you of?
That's definitely the Hat Man. Oh yeah.
Time if you're watching,
Mm-hmm.
let us know what you think. That video was really creepy.
Definitely the Hat Man. I got
But
the-
there's
the-
nothing
the looks.
creepier than either a child ghost or a person who can watch you in your sleep.
Oh yeah.
So that concludes our paranormal segment. And now we're going to move on to the fun stuff, creepy reviews. So let's take a look.
Creepy review.
All right, folks, before I begin, we're going to play a video after I make this explanation clear. First things first, if you have children and they're sensitive to like sounds and imagery, you should remove them. Viewer discretion is advised, especially if you're religious and devout. We mean no disrespect. It was just something that piqued our interest and showcase. So, the definition of exorcism. It's derived from the ancient Greek word binding by oath. is a religious or spiritual practice of evicting demons, jinns, or other malevolent spiritual entities from a person or an area that is believed to be possessed. Depending on the spiritual belief of the exorcist, this may be done by causing the entity to swear an oath, performing an elaborate ritual, or simply by commanding it to depart in the name of a higher power. The practice is ancient and is part of a belief system of many cultures and religions that it's even used till this day.
Wow.
Okay, so with that being said, exorcisms is a very common thing nowadays. So I was first introduced to it by a movie called The Exorcist. William Peter Blatty wrote it, and I guess he did the movie. Or he, yeah, I believe he wrote it, and then
Yeah.
starring Linda Blair as the main victim in this case. And she was the possessed entity by Pazuzu, right, which was another godlike demon.
Another entity.
Right?
Yeah.
So why is this important? We was talking earlier about spiritual warfare,
Spiritual,
being
warfare.
favored by God or the devil. Sometimes these entities go inside your body. They don't ask for permission. They do what they want to do, and then you also have to understand that exorcism is two different types. Your baptism is a form of exorcism.
You're right.
Right? A lot of people don't know that. They
Yeah.
think exorcism is all evil. No, it's
No,
not.
no, no.
I learned that recently. So in the process of understanding this, you got to start understanding that some religions do go through a process where you're submitting yourself to God, and you're going through that livelihood of you're God bound, and you're going that direction, and you live its ideals, right? And then you have the malevolent, where you either practice it or you're not a person of faith and you become victim of a
Of it.
malevolent being, right?
You have to open a door. A lot of people open doors. People try to they start getting into witchcraft and stuff like that, and they don't. If you don't believe in God, man, you don't believe in nothing. You know what I mean? You need to have God, because otherwise you're done. You know what I mean?
So I have a different viewpoint, because people conflate God with religion,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I think that that's the first thing. You have to be a person of faith in knowing that there's some supreme being that created all of this. And when I say you have to, that's your choice. I'm just verbalizing what I think my viewpoint is, and I think it's fair. I'm not biased to people who favor it or not. I became a person of faith, but I also understand that the realities of the world, it's not
Yeah.
always pretty. It's not going to be sunshine and rainbows.
Oh yeah.
There's a sprinkle of evil everywhere in the world where there's sunshine. You can't have light without dark. That's just the way the world works.
Exactly.
However, what you favor is what you attract. And you have to be mindful that not everything that comes with it is packaged as you want. Right?
Exactly.
So an example of that is Anton LaVey.
There you go.
But before he died,
Mm-hmm.
what was his last words?
He wanted to believe. You know what I mean?
He believed he was the leader of the Satanism, of the satanic cult.
Yeah.
And his last words was, "What have I done?
What have I done? Exactly.
What have I done?" Aleister Crowley,
Yeah, Aleister Crowley.
you
Yeah.
know,
He followed
the
the,
guy.
he followed the steps of Anton LaVey. Yeah.
He was before Anton.
Before,
LaVey.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
your practice. You know,
You know.
practice
You know.
your
He.
practice.
They said he opened a portal, and he made contact with a entity called Neil, something like that. And it was the way it was drawn, or the script. It was like a gray alien.
Isn't that something?
It is something.
So without further ado, we're gonna go to the video, and then we're gonna have a discussion piece on the video. Again, you're gonna listen to some audio recordings, and then you'll have a little excerpt from The Exorcist at the very end. And then we'll talk about it.
I got something in the chat real quick. I got Carly Sotero. Oh no, I will my pants. It says, do you think these people get picked by ghosts and demons for no reason, or do you think they've done something to get these things attached to them? Noelia says, good question, Coral.
So let's talk about that after the video, because
Yeah.
I have answers. All right, but let's watch the video first.
Mhm.
Exorcisms. The casting out of evil spirits dates back as far as 70 AD. These possessions from malevolent entities have resulted in a profound interest in exorcising demons and has become an area of study all abroad. We intend on discussing this to see how we can piece our understanding of possessions and why is this becoming more and more prevalent throughout the world. We will also be sharing a video reel containing an audio of a real exorcism that resulted in a loss. This is the case of Annalise Mitchell. Please note that this video you will listen to and see is very graphic. Viewer discretion is highly advised.
Ja, ale die wenigste been. Ja. Und eine Kirche wird am allerwenigsten gesehen, weil die Pfarrer ja das für unmodern halten. Ja. Alle? Fast. Ahnung. Warum? Ja, warum? Weil er eine starke...
You speak Latin.
Ego te absolvo.
Quod nomen mihi est?
Bonjour.
Quod nomen mihi est?
La plume de ma tante.
How long are you planning to stay in Reagan?
Until she rots and lies stinking in the earth. What's that?
Holy water.
You keep it away.
So let's talk about it. All right.
That was a strong
I'm curious
video.
to know what the people think. When I hear that video, it always freaks me out. And it's so many tapes on this. They're like different sessions that they held. And the interesting case of Annalise Mitchell was that the priest that performed the exorcism was tried in court. For the first time, a priest was tried in court due to the death of Annalise. So now there's a protocol that's followed in order to perform ritual exorcisms to absolve somebody from that evil spirit. They have to go through a process, make sure that clinically they pass all the check marks and that everything is
they
fine.
need to do the
right?
medical clearance
So
first.
so to answer your question, Cole, I've heard this stuff, and I'm gonna go further back to when I was a kid. There was a guy named Carl Sagan, right? And he said, and correctly so, we are star stuff. We are energy beings. We emit frequencies, negative and positive, depending on our ideals, our beliefs, our views, right? The strong feed on the weak. So if you're evil, you're not going to look for the strongest person.
No.
You're going to look for the weakest person. You're going to look for the person you attract, you can easily handle and manipulate, right? Now, the reasons for it are many. One, to feed on the soul.
Yeah.
Right? Soul is like fuel for a malevolent vessel, right? Number two, it could be also to, how can I put this in a way that makes more sense? Another reason for it would be there is a war between the heavens and
the bad guys,
right?
The devils,
And
the Nephilims.
you give and take, right? It's the numbers game. Number three, you personally, I'm a believer, and I listen to Neville Goddard, Dolores Claiborne, and a lot of different people that speak about this. You are a spiritual entity having a human experience.
There you go.
And I believe in that. Why? Because if your skin was different, if your facial appearance was, it wouldn't matter.
Wouldn't matter,
right? It's what fills the soul.
It is on the Bible. This is there's a life after death. You know what I mean? And even says that when we go to the heaven, there's different body that we're gonna take like a new body. You know what I
Right.
mean? And all that. And there's a spiritual warfare, good and evil. Sometimes people open doors. You know, people that they have no protection. Let's say you. That's why they say you were talking about the baptism.
Yeah.
Or some other religion they don't do baptism, or they present the child to God or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's like a type of exorcism. So you're declaring that your child is gonna be towards God. Is gonna be, you know what I mean?
Right.
Some people don't do that, and they are perceived to be more
They can become victims
victims.
of the malevolent because I guess according to the
Mhm.
saying, you're not protected by or
Exactly.
favored by God, right?
And same thing as
Um,
the witchcraft when people put witchcraft on people and you don't have like a strong belief on something on a higher power. That's when they attack you. And then let's say they throw a witchcraft to you. Maybe they don't attack you, but they go to your child, to children. The most weak on the family, somebody that's sick, maybe. You know what I mean? And that's well known in Caribbean culture. All this voodoo stuff, and that's how they use these entities to cause uh pain and suffering to other people. You know what I mean?
and it's so
And,
sad because, like, for example, the case of Annalise, it could have been broken down to a clinical issue, but
yeah,
the fact that she spoke different dialects,
exactly.
and spoke a language that very few people know was the red flag, right? Then you have what happens to the body. The body
Mhm.
deteriorates, it breaks itself,
Yeah.
it from all the crazy contortion.
Yeah.
Um, so this is happening everywhere. It's a global thing. People are becoming more and more adept of what's happening in the world, and it to me it brought the greater question, right? And the question is, what are we preparing for something greater than just internal war, right?
It is bigger than that because there's good and evil, and we are in the middle. You know what I mean? We are in the middle. This the bad guys and the good guys, they're similar in power. We cannot say that the bad guys are more powerful than the good guys because that it's not like that. Because it's written already. You know, the end is written in the Bible. The Bible is a movie that you already know who's the end of it if you read it. You
It's
know,
the greatest story ever
yeah,
told.
where the good are gonna win. But because they know that the good are gonna win, what will you do? What will you do if you're in a war and you know that the outcome of the war is that you're gonna lose? What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to do the worst thing that you can do, the much damage you can do before
And take
you
as many souls as you can.
exactly. So that's what's going on. You know
So
what I
I
mean?
guess my thoughts were, if I was in that predicament, how would I prepare? Well, one, I would find a source, right? Sometimes we live blanket, purposeless lives, and sometimes we don't have direction. It's really having that inner compass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm not speaking for anyone to do this. I'm just giving my personal thoughts. If it was, um, I would have that inner talk and talk to my inner self. We are divine beings. We are special. And we are capable of great things, but we equally are capable of very destructive and things. And I think understanding the causes and effects, understanding that faith is something that's out there for you to pursue and believe in.
Mm-hmm.
You can go either direction with it, and all in all, it's you know what you allow in your body or in your spirit is what you're going to attract, and this could be a result of that, notwithstanding that there are innocent bystanders, you know,
Yeah.
in some of these things, innocent people. But yeah, it's just very interesting, very complex, because this is what it is, it's complex,
Yeah.
you know, because this is talking about all faiths, right?
Mm.
Here in the world, in the US, in different religions that we know, Catholicism,
Yeah.
um,
Christianism,
Christianity, we refer to him as the devil,
the
Satan,
devil,
Lucifer.
Satan,
But what
Lucifer,
do you refer to him in?
the genes. They
You
call
call them
the
jinns, right?
genes. Yeah.
So there's commonalities, but there's complexities
Mm-hmm.
that come with it, and being respectful of all cultures and all religions, because I think they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
it's really to pursue a righteous path and commend yourself to doing good in the earth is really the message. Because if you do bad, you get bad and you attract bad. I think really.
Yeah. I got this on the read a little bit. It says in Christianity, exorcism is the practice of casting out or getting rid of demons. In Christian practices, the person performing the exorcisms, known as the exorcist, is a member of a Christian church or an individual thought to be graced with a special power or skill. The exorcist may use prayers and religious materials such as set formulae, gestures, symbols, sacred eye images, and sacramental items and stuff, etc. Certain Christian theologians have held that the wearing of a head covering by Christian females comforts protection against fallen angels. You know why? Because fallen angels used to be in love with women's hair,
Yeah.
and they used to love women with long hair. I don't know why. That's
It's
what
the
that was
long
the
flowing
picture.
locks.
Yeah. Maybe they see the long hair moving like like their wings or whatever.
Mhm.
If they have wings, I don't know. Anyway, so going back to what I was reading over here, um, protection against fallen angels, which they teach our reference in Corinthians 11, 3, 10. The exorcism often invokes God, Jesus, or several different angels and archangels to intervene with the exorcism. Protestant Christian exorcists most commonly believe the authority given to them by the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the Trinity, in the sole source of their ability to cast out demons.
All right.
In general, people considered to be possessed are not regarded as evil in themselves, nor wholly responsible for their actions, because possession is considered to be unwilling manipulation by a demon, resulting in harm to self and others. Therefore, practitioners regard exorcism as more of a cure than a punishment. The mainstream ritual usually take this into account, making sure that there is no violence on the possessed, only that they be tied down if there is potential for violence. Wow. Requested and performing exorcism began to decline in the United States by the 18th century and occurred rarely until the later half of the 20th century, when the public saw a sharp rise due to the media attention exorcists were getting. There was a 50% increase in the numbers of exorcisms performed between the early 1960s and the mid 1970s.
Wow. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. And I think that's going to open the floodgates for different religions, right? And I
Yeah.
think that every religion is going to have their own moniker, their own ideal.
Mhm.
But just keep in mind that this is what it really is. It's the unwarranted or unwanted invasion of your spirit. Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah,
That
beautiful.
sounds great.
Beautiful.
So just remember, care for yourself,
Enjoy
love
it.
yourself, and commend yourself to some higher power that's positive, hopefully. And I think we should cut it there because there's a lot more to go over with this, and we could spend a whole 2 hours on on just this one segment.
I wanted to read something real quick from the Bible about this encounter that Jesus had with a possessed person.
Sure.
It says, so they arrived at the other side of the lake in the region of the Gerasene, where Jesus climbed out of the boat, and a man possessed by an evil spirit came out from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, even with a chain. That's how strong he was. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrist and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Day and night wandered among the burial caves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. When Jesus was still some distance away, the man saw him and ran to meet him and bowed low before him. With shriek, he screamed, "Why are you interfering with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In the name of God, I beg you, don't torture me." For Jesus had already said to the spirits, "Come out of the man, you evil spirit." Then Jesus demanded, "What is your name?" the and he replied, "My name is Legion, because there are many of us inside this man." The devil then the evil spirit begged him again and again not to send them to some distant place. Why he said that? Because every time you do an exorcism, they say that the spirits go to a desert. And if you don't keep doing what you need to do to prevent getting demons again, they will come back stronger to you. And that's what happened to a lot of people. Anyway, so, okay. There happened to be a large herd of pigs fending on the hillside nearby. Send us into those pigs. The spirit begged, let us enter them. So Jesus gave them permission. The evil spirit came out of the man and entered the pigs, and the entire herd of about 2,000 pigs plunged down the steps hillside into the lake and drowned it in the water. The herd fled to the nearby town and the surrounding countryside, spreading the news that they run. People rushed out to see what had happened. A crowd soon gathered around Jesus, and they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons. He was sitting there, fully clothed and perfectly sane, and they were all afraid. And those who had seen what happened told the others about the demons possessed man and the pigs. And the crowd began pledging with Jesus to go away and leave them alone. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon possessed begged to go with him. But Jesus said, "No, go home to your family and tell them everything the Lord has done for you and how merciful he has been." So the men started off visit the 10 towns of their regions and began to proclaim the great thing Jesus had done for him. And everyone was amazed and what he told them.
Good, good.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. But basically, um, the story is really about Jesus casting out and exorcising a demon and transferring the demon to a herd of pigs, and the pigs then plunge to their own demise, casting away the spirit indefinitely. And Legion is one of the stronger demons
Yeah.
in the King
The
Solomon.
King Solomon, yeah.
Yeah, 72 angels and demons.
Yeah.
72 was it?
Yeah, 72.
72,
Yeah,
right.
72.
So yeah, so there's a lot to take in, but it's written in text that's ancient, and I think that's what you're going
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
That this is by the way, this is 70 AD.
Yeah,
was the
that's it.
earliest recount. So you're talking about Jesus doing this already,
yeah.
and we could probably find it even before that if we did more research. But with that being said, this is kind of like the segue in saying, hey, we're just presenting the facts. We provide what we think our thoughts
Exactly.
are. You follow what you want. We respect it and love you either way. But that ends our segment, and we hope you enjoyed it. We're done.
I think it was a great channel, a
Yeah.
great program. I mean, it was good, really good.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
A lot of material and
A lot of good material. I think we got to place more emphasis on delivering stronger, harder material that people can bite their teeth into. And
oh yeah,
and I think we're doing just that.
thank you for time. It was really good.
It was. So to the fans,
Let
we
me
wanna say
shout
thank
out
you.
everybody in the chat. Thank you to Jacob Castro, Noelia Otero, Coralis Otero. Thank you to MBG, Nothing But Greatness, Stone of Secrets,
Bacchus and half.
Buckets and Half, and
Barbosa.
Barbosa One. Thank you for everybody that was watching and listening to us, either in all our platforms. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, you can always call us to 904-803-7327. And that concludes everything for today, right?
Right. So any final thoughts?
I just think that you should find a faith that you like. You know what I mean? We live in difficult times, and yeah, just stay strong on what you believe, and try to believe something good.
Right. So I'm going to cap it off by saying thank you all for watching. Thank you all 600 subscribers. And more importantly, I want to say wherever you're stuck in darkness, there's always a sliver of shines through. You need to move ahead, move forward, and no matter what religion you're in, what what your ideals are, what you were brought up in. You need to walk in something that's going to bring you to the positive place in your. And with that, I want to say to all of you, thank you. We'll see you next week. Sending you lots of love and have an awesome holiday season. All right. So with that, take care.
Take care, guys. Gracias.
This show is produced by J Rock and Frank Walls. Audio and music by Alex Otero. Art and design by Corrales Otero. See you next week, and remember, the truth is out there.